All right, it's time for custom Magic the Gathering cards. Will these cards be crazy, or are we going to see some normal stuff? We never see anything normal on this show. It's always the universal substance. It's a 0 mana 0/1. It doesn't even have a card type or anything. Universal substance has all super types, card types, and subtypes. I don't even know what that even means. It works! It works, it works, it works. Multiple instances of it works, each trigger separately. I didn't even know that's even something to trigger. This thing's awful. But does it hit the bingo card? We don't have a I think this is more of like an AI generated looking thing where there is no card type to this. I mean, I guess it's technically a creature. Technically it's a creature. We have a power and toughness over here. It's also an aura. It doesn't work. Is that what it means by all super types and subtypes? It's the universal substance, creature, aura, and all. I don't like it. It scares me. We're gonna move on to adios, sayonara, goodbye. Fair or I get it. I caught myself. It's like another way of saying farewell. Okay, this is a white for generic. Farewell that's upside down. Choose one or more. Oh, exile all battles. Exile all lands. And then also exile all planeswalkers. Exile all permanents with no type. What would be an example of a... Okay, Coffee Crew, what's an example of a permanent with no type? Everything has a type. Everything on the battlefield has to be something. Either an artifact, planeswalker, land, creature. What is a permanent that has no type on it? Like, even a token is a type. But finally, we have a way of dealing with those annoying battles, am I right? We have to get rid of the battles. So a strictly worse spell brews? I don't even know what that is. Welcome, Dimitri. Damn, me and Nikachu almost thought this was literally just Spanish farewell. I thought so. Well, I mean, for the most part. I didn't expect the rest to be Spanish. I did expect it to I expected a twist here. It wasn't going to be that straightforward, Dimitri. It wasn't going to be... Okay, if it has no type, will it still be a permanent? If it has no type, is it even part of the game? Is it like... Choose exile permanents with no type. I'm trying to think. Is it like a random token with no type? Maybe. Like, would that mean like a treasure token? No, but a treasure is an artifact. Spell brews with an AI generated creature with an ETB ability that exiles all lands. Oh, that's what it was. All right. Okay, I don't understand what it means by exile permanents with no type. I'm disqualifying this one too. We're just looking at a whole bunch of cards that make no damn sense. All right, we're going to start off our first super chat with Elixir with Imprism. Remember, if you want to be part of the show, whoops, I'm in Legacy here. You want to be part of the show? You got to submit in my Discord. We have rules in the description. You have to donate, and if you donate, give me the name of your post in my Discord. I'll look it up. And that's exactly what Elixir has done. Imprism. Oh, is this like a take on Prism? You know, and we get to see all the colors of the rainbow through a prism. Wooburg, instant. This spell costs whitelist to cast if it targets a... Okay, this is a grammar thing, right? If its target has... Or maybe not. Okay. If its target has white in its mana cost, that's fine. The same is true for blue, black, red, and green. Exile target spell... exile target spell or permanent. So this could be a 1 mana counter spell to Omnath. This could be a 1 mana removal to Omnath as well. This is a 0 mana counter spell to Sliver Queen. And what's funny is, like, in Commander, the only deck that could play this is another Wooburg deck. It's like it's like mono blue getting hated versus mono blue, effectively. The art gives you Star Fox vibes. I'm not feeling it, to be honest. I'm not feeling it. I played a little bit of Star Fox. Wasn't really a fan of the aesthetic, and I thought it was like, I don't know, too spacey for me. Yeah, F your Wooburg commander. Screw them all. Zero cost Wooburg removal. What's really funny is it's so hard to make Wooburg work in general. You need to have the right mana base. You need to have at least 5 lands in play. It's like it's the most taxing on your deck construction to make Wooburg work. And then we have like this easy counter to the whole damn thing. As if there wasn't enough hate versus like red, green, black, blue, and white. We have something exactly for all 5 colors at once. I mean, okay. I think it works, to be honest. It's only acceptable if it's Earthbound level of spacey. I suppose so. You know, I wasn't a huge fan by the end of the video. Or sorry, the video game. That might have been a little too spacey for me too, but it didn't last for very long. Wouldn't this just cause a Wooburg commander to go to the command zone? Yes! So, but not necessarily for the cards that they play from their deck. Yeah, so, but hey, 0 mana counter commander, that ain't bad, okay? That ain't bad at all. It's good stuff. Benjamin says, if you mutate on top of a devotion god, can have a typeless permanent. The mutated stack isn't an enchantment because that's how mutate works. And then if you don't have a devotion, it isn't a creature. Interesting. That's super niche then. Okay, next up, we go back to the freebie section. And by the way, anyone who has a series of cards, we will take a look at them after the sponsored segment. The Unshackled Djinn. Is that like when the genie became free? Genie, I wish for your freedom. 4 mana for a 2/4 Djinn, flying. When this creature enters, draw a card. I don't remember seeing that in the Aladdin movie, but yeah, well, I mean, I guess it makes sense. It should really be at the beginning of each upkeep, draw a card. You know, it's funny. The genie, only grants 3 wishes, but once unshackled, basically granted infinite wishes after that. Well, the real money machine glitch was just granting the genie's freedom. For anyone who watched the cartoon series, because the genie still had a really big spot in the cartoon series. The genie murders Aladdin in the actual, well, not in the Disney movie. That would be rated R. Very annoying limited card. It's okay. Like, it's a 4 mana 2/4 ETB draw card. I think it's fine. In fact, I think it's below playable. I don't even think it's good. I mean, I'm not a limited expert, but I would not bet that this is like an all-star or anything like that. It's just a card. Draft playable. Okay, next up in Super Chat world, the Damn Draws. Thank you so much for your Super Chat. Curious Pop-Up Tent. What is that all about? Curious pop-up tent. What is this? It the Clown? Okay, it's a legendary land, clown territory. Curious pop-up tent enters tapped. Tap at a red or a green, red or a white. Clowns you control with haste have trample. Clowns you control with trample have haste. So basically, if you don't have it, you now have it. Is that what it means? It's a legendary land too. You know what's funny? I don't know any clowns with trample. I also don't know any clowns with haste. So I really don't have a whole lot to say about this. But yes, this can exist. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, whoa. So this is gonna make all the changelings have all clowns you control with haste. No, but you have to first give the changelings haste. Then once they have haste, they get trample. But then when you give them trample, they also have haste. Yeah, reminder, changelings are clowns. Yeah, if there's one thing that the coffee crew has definitely taught me over the years, it's like if it works for a niche archetype, it definitely works for the changeling deck, essentially. Oh, Dimitri also submitted a card. It was the big dog. Okay, we're gonna look at that. Thank you so much for reminding me. I really appreciate that. And because of that, we'll definitely take a look at it. Happy New Year, nerds! dorks and geeks. It's not everyone identifies as a nerd. I identify as a geek personally. That's how I best identify. Doesn't Jolly Balloon Man have haste? Oh, you know what? You might be right. To be honest, I don't pay attention to those unset cards, even though a lot of them are legal these days. Okay, cool card. Hopefully it's innocent enough. Okay, we have, what is it called? The Big Dog. The Big Dog. I wish I could say you were the first and only person to try to pay for a custom Magic the Gathering card on a non-custom Magic the Gathering card show. But at least you showed up on the real day so we can actually look at it. The Big Dog! It is a green 3/3. It's only 1 green, and it's indestructible. The spell is not an enchantment or creature on the stack. Well, of course. Oh, I see. Because it's an enchantment, but it's a creature. So it's an enchantment in play. It's not a creature either. Okay, as long as your devotion in green is less than 40, the Big Dog isn't a creature. Green, is this supposed to be some sort of version of Clifford or something? Creatures you control get tapped, put a pat counter on another target creature you control. Creatures you control with a pat counter on it get +2/+2 and trample for each pat counter on it as long as the Big Dog is a creature. I have to say, this card, it needs a lot of work. It's a 1-mana indestructible creature, so it's not an enchantment or a creature on the stack. As long as your devotion to green is less than 40, it isn't a creature. So it's basically a 1-mana 3/3 that it's an enchantment, basically. It grants creatures you control get tap, put a pat counter on another target creature you control. I'll tell you what you should do. So first off, it should cost more than 1. Make it cost 4. Second off, or you could 3 to 4 might be fine. Second off, it should just say like the spell. Screw this line. Just get rid of it. And as long as your devotion to green is less than 40, you could probably cut that down to like 20 or something. You could probably bring that thing down to 10 and be okay. It's clunkier than Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like, no, it's not a creature until you get 4 devotion. So I think per the rules of the game, it's gonna have to be an enchantment or a creature on the stack. Otherwise, you're just making this like super weird and clunky. Like it's clearly an enchantment or creature spell while it's on the stack. Unless you want to make it I don't even know what kind of card type it is. Unless you want to make it an artifact that when it enters the battlefield, it becomes an enchantment and creature, but that's just weird. Just get rid of this first line. As long as your devotion to green is less than 10, it's not a creature. And the rest, I think we can live with. If you mutate on it, you can have a typeless permanent. That's great. The more we know. It was for a meme. Oh right, they had that 1-mana meme thing. Okay, but as printed, it's awful. What a weird meme card. But I understand it was for the memes. We have to do it for the memes. I believe in the memes. That's what I believe in. Don't let your memes be dreams. Okay, Silent Stealth Claw. This is a 3-mana 1/1 cat assassin. Wonderful art. Flash, when Silent Stealth Claw enters, target creature's toughness becomes 1 until Silent Stealth Claw leaves the battlefield. Oh, okay, so enters the battlefield, shrinks somebody down. And then that's it. They're shrunk. And they're shrunk for as long as this thing's still here. I like it. I like it a lot. It's almost like a weird removal, but the cat's not that big itself, so it's not broken. Why is this from what is this? Outlaws of Thunder Junction set symbol? Timmy Emrakul? Oh, are we like gonna shrink an Emrakul? Yeah, we could do that. That's possible. It's definitely possible. Hold on, we have do we hit any super chats? I tried to improve the card. We got that one going for it. Okay, good. So the meme card didn't have to be a meme. It could be a real card. Flash blocker extraordinary. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. You just flash this thing in play. You're a 1/1. I'm a 1/1 too. Well, let's battle. And I might go down, but you're going down with the ship with me. 5+ in the card type for the previous card. Oh, is that right? 5+ words in card type. Thanks so much for Genka. I really appreciate it. Cool stuff. Okay, next up in the freebie section, fireworks. We probably saw a lot of that last night, didn't we, Coffee Crew? 2 mana for a sorcery. Storm? Fireworks deals 1 damage to each bird, cat, and dog. Do fireworks really injure wildlife like bird, cats, and dogs? Maybe I could sort of see the birds getting startled. I don't know if it's really that dangerous to birds and sorry, cats and dogs though. I don't think they'd be in reach. Because they don't like the firework noises. Yeah, but then they run. I can tell you, my cat Chubby Meatball absolutely hates fireworks. I try to enjoy them with her, but she just wants to run away. The whole sound and everything. Oh, does it hurt their ears? It hurts their ears, hence it deals 1 damage to them. It's the damn eardrum that's being attacked. Okay. Storm, it deals 1 damage to each bird, cat, and dog. This is really narrow. Like, what is this killing? Other than changelings. What are they killing for birds? Birds of paradise? Maybe we need this to defeat the energy decks. The damage Ani has gotten too out of control at this point. Dimitri says, I've been dealing with fireworks since American Thanksgiving, and I got until the 14th. And yes, it can, but you got to be aiming at the animals first. Oh my God, that's...
No, God, please, no!
It damages the big dog. Only if you have 40 devotion, Brian. You need 40 devotion for that big dog. You could play around fireworks by just making sure you have 39 devotion. Simple as that. Okay, doable. Doable, but actually practically completely useless. What is this? Oh, this is an ad. Migratory Heron. This is a blue-green 2/2 bird flying and landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, draw a card, then discard a card. That's insane! I think that's actually broken. So I just play a land. I play a fetch land. Loot. Discard. Crack my fetch land. Loot again. This is insane. This is... What is this? It's careful study on fetch lands. Every fetch land turns into careful study. I don't think that the creator was all that careful making this card. Maja says, oh, you're going to make custom cards? Yeah, I'm making custom cards. I very rarely take a break from this show. It's been a long 3 years. Coffee Crew, it's been a long 3 years. Does it count for it danger? No, it's not that dangerous. It's very good. You know, honestly, if they printed this card, I don't know how broken it actually would be. I think it would be very good. But you still have to spend at least 2 mana on this card. And by the way, you don't even want to play this on turn 2 because you won't get any value. You play it on turn 2, it dies, and then what? Back to square one. So what you have to do is you got to do something else on turn 2, play your mana rock or whatever, go to turn 3, then play the Migratory Heron, and then play your fetch land, and then it will trigger. And no matter how your opponents respond, it doesn't matter. You're at least going to get 1 loot. And then if they do try to kill it in response to your first loot, then you can crack your fetch land and go get another land and do it all over again. You need the coffee then. Oh, you better believe it. You better believe... I live off of coffee and tea. I always have at least 1 cup of coffee every single day. The McBroken of MTG McMansions. Unless you get counterspelled. You could get counterspelled. Grammatically, shouldn't it say whenever a land enters under your control? Whenever a land you can whenever land you control enters? I think you're right, actually. Do we have a learn grammar space on here? We don't always have it. Learn grammar! You know who can also learn grammar? Me. I didn't even catch that. Anyway, I think it's an interesting card. It's not, but I wouldn't ban this thing. But in the right deck, it's a bit strong. It's pretty good. Okay, we got Crack the Foundations. This is a 3-mana sorcery. Destroy all artifacts without mana abilities. Oh. I think it's too expensive. What do you guys think? 3 mana? So I believe the going rate for destroying all the artifacts is 4 mana, I think. What's Shatter cost? Let's look at Shatter. Is it Shatter? No, it's me. It's not Shatter. No, it's just, this is destroy target artifact. I don't know the one that hits all the artifacts, but I believe it's 4 mana. 4 mana to wipe all artifacts from the battlefield. This is 3 mana sorcery speed. Screw you artifact stacks and artifact decks. Screw them lands too. They'll also probably have artifacts. Lapse in Hurkyl's Recall. Hey, when you Hurkyl's Recall, it comes back. You're only bouncing it. It's very temporary. It's Gonzo for Dunzo for forever. Although, you know, the Sensei's Divining Top is probably laughing its way to the bank. It just goes back on top of their deck. They don't even care. Lands probably have mana abilities. Yeah, probably have mana abilities. Oh, you're talking about, yeah. Sorry. Crack the Foundations aren't going to hit the lands. I'm just thinking of the 4 mana one would destroy all the yeah, but that's not relevant. Yeah, Crack the Foundations definitely looks fair. I think a lot of people would like Crack the Foundations. Shatterstorm. That's what it is. It wasn't Shatter. It's Shatterstorm. That's 4 mana. Okay, this is definitely fair. I'm just thinking it probably could be cheap. Can we get away with 2? Is 2 too few? Or is that 2 mana like it should be only destroying artifacts that are like 2 or less? I don't know for sure. Okay, let's get to our next super chat. We got from Epic Nate. Thanks so much. The Cube of the Future. What does that mean? Cube of the Future. Still thinking if I should change something on it. Okay, when I heard the word cube, I thought you meant like, you know, drafting a cube. I didn't think it's actually a cube. 0 mana legendary artifact with indestructible. During your end phase, put a future counter on cube. Then lose X life, where X is the number of future counters on cube. Is this the One Ring? Tap, add X of any combination where X in the number of future counters on cube. Okay, hold on. Let me reread this. It's indestructible. During your end phase, put a future counter on cube. Then lose X life, where X is the number of future counters on cube. Tab X, add X mana of any combination where X in the number of future counters on cube. So it goes into interesting, but here's the problem. It's legendary, so you can just keep exchanging it for future cubes. How long do you live though? So it doubles every turn, right? We got to bring out Nikachu's calculator. How quickly do we reach 40? On turn 1, we take is that your upkeep? I don't know how. During your end phase, put a future counter on it, then lose it. No, it's at the end phase. So at end phase, we lose 1 life. Then we lose 2. Then we lose. Oh no, hold on. Whoa. Your end phase, put a future counter on cube, then lose X life, where X is the number. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, we're putting 1 on every single turn. That's all I need. It's all I needed to know. Oops, what have I done? Okay, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9. So you die at 9. 9 turns. Okay, I think it's broken. Find a way to give your cube lifelink instead of dealing damage to you. This would be instant ban level. Maybe if you made it 3 or 4 mana to start with. Maybe 0 mana is insane. So it's like add 1 mana of any color for each future counter on cube. I think this is just probably the most broken mana rock we've ever seen. Okay, it danger. All right, it definitely danger. Definitely danger. Why did we, like, here's my big problem. Why are we making it legendary and indestructible? Definitely the indestructible is insane. Would lifelink even, whoops, if lifelink even work if you're dealing damage to yourself? I don't know. You know, with the way Magic the Gathering works, anything is possible. Anything. It's a machine gun Black Lotus after 3 turns. Yeah, basically. But think of all the mana we could have. Just think of all the mana we could have, Coffee Crew. A lot. We all love our mana, all right? We need to find a replacement for Mana Crypt and Jeweled Lotus. The dark times are, there are dark times in the future, and those dark times are going to be lit up. It's the cube of the future is going to light our future in the way. Anyway, but, too broken. Okay, back to the freebies section. The aspect of love. Love is in the air. What is it? Spring already? Oh, back to the 1 mana 3/3s. The elemental. You can't cast this spell unless an opponent gained life this turn. You can't cast this spell unless an opponent. So we have to get our opponent to gain some life. And then we get a 1 mana 3/3. Okay. Oh, Carplazin. No, what is that? There's that red green land that could do it. That'll do the job. Would you have to sacrifice the cube in addition? What if you had to sacrifice the cube in addition to tapping it? That probably is fine. It's like a storage land, sort of. And you have to lose life while it builds itself up. That's fine. Grove of the Burn Willows. Don't worry, I know what you're talking about, Majra. The Grove. All right, Grove plus Aspect of Love. But here's the deal. If you have Grove of the Burn Willows out, you can't cast Aspect of Love. You have to wait a turn. So you need like a white source plus the Grove. So it's fair. Super fair. Honestly, 1 mana 3/3, it's not even exciting anymore. Like, you can get that with Wild Nikachu, and it's not even good. Okay, we got the damn draws with the overload bracers. Overload bracers. Look at this fellow being overloaded. 3 mana. Oh, it's another shackle. So 3 mana shackle. It's like an equipment you put on your opponent's stuff. Shackled creature has Rampage 2 and Menace. And at the end of each of their combat phases, the controller of the shackled creature takes damage equal to its power. That's right. It's like when your Pokemon explodes in your face. And you can unshackle for 4 mana. So the opponent wants to unshackle for 4 mana. I definitely think that this is a super playable card. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I think so. Hold on, it's a doable card. I think this card's gonna backfire on you. You're literally making your opponent's creature bigger and stronger, unless this is you want to put this on your own creature, which in that case, like, I want to say this loses no matter what you do. If you put it on your creature, I don't know if the advantage is enough compared to like how much life you're going to lose, because you're just going to attack each other. You attack yourself and your opponent the same way. And I don't know if this is worth putting on your opponent's creature. You goad it? Does it say goad? Oh, so you're saying this needs goad on it. That would change a lot. At the moment, I don't think it will be worthwhile. Like, I want to say is if you put on your opponent's creature, it's like they're like, thanks, dude. You just buffed up my creature. And while I do take damage, at least I didn't waste my turn spending mana to put this thing on my creature, and then they attack you with it. If you put this on your own creature, it's fine, but you're also pinging yourself, so your opponent can actually win the race when they attack back. So I think, I mean, it's like I said, it's a doable card, but if I were the one playing it, I don't know if I would win out of it. Should have goad on the shackle by default. I don't know if that's all necessarily true. Not all the shackles want to have goad. Fun thing to do. Put this on your own creature that has lifelink. That could work. That absolutely can work. Gain that life. But then, like, why not just put a random other aura? Why do we need to put the overload bracers on? Also, you know, this is, if we really need to get rid of this thing, it's very hard. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't even think what you're thinking. At the end of each combat phase, the controller of the shock creature takes damage equal to its power. Oh, no, okay. I don't think this thing is dealing the damage. So you're not going to gain life from that. But you can gain life from just attacking. That would actually work out pretty well. If you bind the creature first and then overload it, I don't know. It also says take damage, but it doesn't say the source. Oh, the source would be the shackle for sure. Does the shackle deal the damage? Does the creature? No, the shackle deals the damage. If it doesn't say the creature, then the card itself is dealing the damage. Which means if we give our creature lifelink, it can gain life from attacking and from rampage too, but it's not going to gain life as it deals damage to our own face. All right, well, interesting thought experiment over there. But you know what? We have to take our time to thank our sponsors today. Who are those sponsors? FusionGamingOnline.com, of course. You love custom Magic the Gathering cards, but you also like buying the real ones, like from Magic the Gathering Foundations, Innistrad Remastered. I think this Boxing Week sale is done for. The deal of the week this week is now 20% off all deck boxes. But whether it be deck boxes or singles, you might want to support the channel by buying from FusionGamingOnline.com. That's where I buy a lot of my Magic the Gathering cards. And when I do, I always use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all my purchases. It can save money for you too. And we're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. By the way, they have a monthly free roll event for people who play on Magic Online. It's free for everyone. But if you're a Mana Traders member, you get a boost increase on your prizes. Anyway, you can support the channel renting with Mana Traders using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription using coupon code Nikachu_4KA. And back to the crazy custom Magic the Gathering cards. Back to your regularly scheduled program. Okay, let's take a look at the last freebie till we go into Super Chat hell. Or, I mean, Super Chat heaven. Heaven. I'm just saying, the Super Chats then take over the show. Prismatic Knight. This is a white 2/2 human knight. Isn't this supposed to be a Wooburg Knight or something? First strike Vigilance. Whenever Prismatic Knight enters or attacks, blocks, or becomes targeted, choose a color at random. It can be the same as the last chosen color. Prismatic Knight has protection from the last chosen color. Choose a color at random. Oh, I see. Okay, so we're gonna roll some dice, and then whatever comes up, that's what we have protection from. All right, that definitely works for me. Objectively, this card is sort of bad. It's just that it's just random when it attacks, blocks, or becomes targeted. Oh, so basically there's like a 1 in 5 chance that the block or the attack could succeed 1 out of 5 times. The block could be bad, could be good 1 out of 5 times, or I can counter like removal 1 out of 5 times. Do you feel lucky? Huh? Do you feel lucky, punk? Lou says, someday you're going to get tired of the shoutouts and just die of overwhelmed shoutouts. You know, I mean, if the show goes to like 4 or 5 hours, that's very possible. It's a first strike Vigilance 2/2 for 2, which seems like a limited all-star. You know what? Honestly, if it had 3 toughness, maybe. But there's a lot of this 2-power creatures that will just kill it. I can think of tons of cards these days. It's like a 2/3 for 2 mana. And it just gets outclassed by this thing. Anyway, I would not be scared. Dirty Harry, that's right. Not that I've seen a whole lot of that series. Okay, on to the Super Chats. Starting off with 4 Paths of Life. The Interstellar Explorers. Okay. Interstellar Explore. Oops. Explorers. Part 1. You're making a series, are you, for Pats Alive? All right, remember, we're going to look at 3 of these cards, and then we'll look at the last 2. I'm gonna look at 3 from all the top super chatters, and then we'll look at the last 2 afterwards. Unexplored Stars. It's a land. I love lands. Huge fan of the lands. Unexplored Stars can't become a creature or be fortified. Okay. Tap. Why fortified? Is that part of your mechanic? Isn't fortified like a super niche mechanic? That's like saying this creature cannot gain bands with legends. Now that I think about it. Okay, we can tap for a mana. If you control a vehicle, add 1 mana of any color instead. So we go from colorless to any color. And then pay 1 tap. Target crewed vehicle explores. Okay. I can see the value. You know what I'd like, actually? I would like this land. Just, like, target, maybe even attacking or blocking creature explores. I would like that a lot. That'd be pretty cool. Brian Freed says, how will you fortify space? Oh, yeah, I get it. It's the unexplored stars. Is that a Star Trek reference? We're going where no something has ever been before. What is the quote? Where no one has been before Star Trek. What did Picard said? Where no one has gone before is the 6th episode. No, that's not what did Picard say? I don't know what Picard said, damn. We're not. They say it at the beginning of the episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. But anyway, okay. That's this. That's where Picard is going. Big time. Fortified needs more use, in my opinion. Well, apparently it's not going to be fortified here. Where no man has gone before. He said more than that, though. It says our journey, our mission, something, blah, blah, blah. The space, the final... There we go! Nova knows. Nova is a space wolf. It would be an abomination if Nova didn't know back and forth the entire series of Star Trek, all right? Every space wolf watches Star Trek. And hopefully Star Wars as well. Okay, I like this card. Even though I think even though this might be for a flavor, can't be a creature or fortified, it's just weird. Okay, Science Officer. This is a 1 mana 1/1. Fleet Scientist Soldier. Can only crew 1 vehicle a turn. Usually that's all creatures can do. Whenever Science Officer crews, it gains the following abilities based on the number of level counters it has. 2+, it has it and the vehicle it crews has hexproof. 3+, enchantments cost 1 less for you to cast. 4+, untap scry 2, then draw a card. Level up, scry X, where X is the number of level counters on it. +1, activate only once a turn. So on you just level up, you don't tap it or anything. Is that how it works here? Scry X, where X is the number of level counters on it, +1. So it's 0, go to 1. So you have to do it twice. Okay, that's fine. I think it's like it's very funny. It's a very wordy card to get all these abilities. And it's very hard to get those abilities. They're free, but they take time. So you're going to get to level 1 immediately. Then you get to level 2 next turn. It takes a while, but sure. Space Sail Cruiser. 7 mana 6/6 fleet vehicle. Flying, Vigilance, and Barrier 3. Put a shield counter on this card when it enters. This card can't have more than 3 shield counters. Oh, I see. That's what barrier means. I think that's cool. We should give names to... We got to give names to shield. Or this is a shield mechanic. That's way too many scries. It's not... Oh, yeah, I forgot the scrying is free. Do you know what? Okay, hold on. We got to go back. So this is 1 mana scry 1 for a 1/1. Then if it lives to the next turn, it can scry twice. But these abilities aren't that strong. Like the 4 one is pretty good, I guess. But the first 2 are not. I'll give it. I'll let it go. Okay, whenever Space Sail Cruiser becomes crewed, it gains a shield counter and the following abilities. If a fleet crews it, it becomes an artifact creature until your next upkeep instead. Tap Space Sail Cruiser Explores, crew 6. It's basically a giant... Oh no, wait a minute. It becomes crewed, it gains a shield counter on and the following abilities. If a fleet crews it, it becomes an artifact creature until your next upkeep instead. Okay, I think this is okay only because it's 7 mana. It's 7 mana, it's not a creature immediately. You have to put a little bit of work into turning it into a creature. Honestly, I think it's just very, very clunky. I think, okay, so here's my take on it. Once it's a creature, it's basically indestructible. I think it's borderline broken. But the thing keeping it in check is A, it's 7 mana, which is not nothing. And 2, you need to have like a very specific creature crewing it, right? If a fleet crews, it becomes an artifact creature until your next upkeep instead. So like it's gonna stick around for a very long time. By the way, did I start a trend of space cards or what? I don't know. When was your last space card? Or maybe I don't know. I don't know what's going on in this forum. Or in this Discord, I should say. Growth in experience. The 4 mana enchantment. During the end step, put a level counter on each creature with a level up ability that explored this turn. During the end step, for each vehicle that attacked, blocked, or explored this turn, put a level counter on each creature with a level up ability that crews it. What? This is getting a little convoluted. During the end step, put a level counter on each creature with a level up ability that explored this turn. Oh, that's the idea of exploring. So you're gonna have counters for explore. You're gonna have counters for level. So it sounds very awful to play with, to be honest. You have so many things you have to keep track of all the time. Whenever a card from your library is searched or revealed, gain 1 life. This is like one of these cards I don't know how to evaluate because it's just super wordy and it sounds like to get going you need to have the whole engine running. So you know, we're gonna let it pass. It's also only sort of works in the don't. I wonder, there's a bunch of old level cards for each vehicle. Whenever, put a level counter on each creature with a level up ability that explored this turn. One good cool thing about this card is maybe it can work with old level up cards, the old ones. They just made up level up. Why would they put so many cards involving level up? Did they make up level up? What's that level? Shatter Skull? Did they invent level up? Did they? I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I think it's been around for a while, actually. I think this is an old mechanic. And I think this card can work with this old mechanic. It's weirdly worded in comparison, but I think it still works. So I think this is an interesting card to use for old level up cards. Because level up was like an awfully clunky mechanic that you had to sink mana into in order to get your benefit. Okay, extensive exploration. The 3 mana sorcery. Target creature or crewed vehicle explores twice. If you would send a card to the graveyard while exploring, you may place it on the bottom. Oh, I went through all these cards. I went through all of them by accident. I'm only supposed to look at 3. Okay, we look at all 5. If extensive exploration was placed in the graveyard while exploring, you may explore again with the same creature immediately afterwards. It feels like it's worded wrong. If it's placed in the graveyard while exploring, you may explore again with the same creature immediately afterwards. I don't think that works. I think the whole point of exploring is the creature does need to be in play. Because the whole, like, in response to explore, you destroy the creature. It doesn't get the explore. Target creature or crewed vehicle explores twice. If you send a card to the graveyard while exploring, you may place it on the bottom of the library instead. If you would send a card to the graveyard... Oh, I see. So you put, like, if you explored a card into the graveyard. Oh, if extensive exploration was placed in the graveyard while exploring, you may explore again with the same creature. That doesn't... Okay, I would still get rid... I don't mind this... putting cards from the graveyard. Oh no, this is sorcery. What the hell is this card? Target creature explores twice. If you would send a card to the graveyard while exploring, you may place it on the bottom. That I get. If extensive exploration is placed in the graveyard while exploring, which is impossible because there'll be nothing on the stack once extensive exploration hits the graveyard, you may explore again with the same creature immediately afterwards. That's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem. So this last paragraph, just get rid of it. I don't even, yeah. Just dump it. Make it dumped. Okay, next up, let's take a look at okay, okay, we'll go to Majra. Let's go to Majra. I miss Majra. The Wandering Presbytery, part 6. If I look up part 6, can I find this thing? I can. Excellent. Okay, let's look at the Janitor. This is a 3-mana 2/2 human cleric citizen. It's got Mentor and Soulbound. As long as the Janitor is paired with another creature, each of those creatures has Ward 1 and gets +1/+1 for each creature paired with it. If a paired creature is a cleric, the Janitor gains cleric spells you cast cost Mardu less to cast. Creature's control can be paired more than once. So we can have so you're telling me we can have a threesome here? Is that what you're telling me, Majra? We can have a threesome. It's Soul Bond. Nikachu, you said it wrong. Oh, is it? Oh, you're right. Is Soul Bond different from Soul Bound? Or was it always Soul Bond and I've been naming it wrong? You name it wrong every time. Okay, now you know what? I learned something today. Because apparently I've been I thought it was Soul Bound. Okay, Soul Bond. Yeah, like James Bond. Da-na-da-na-na. This is one of those cards. This could be broken. This could be crazy. Like, hopefully not. Well, I mean, to be honest, I don't know how many clerics are are Mardu. So maybe if this is okay. He's polyamorous. Oh yeah, I can tell. So the janitor gets around, and you know what? The janitor doesn't mind getting dirty. A real man's man. Okay, the janitor's boyfriend. Now it's a white 2/2 human cleric citizen. It's got lifelink and soul bond. As long as the janitor's boyfriend is paired with another cleric creature, each of those creatures has vigilance, and each player who has cast a non-creature spell this turn can't cast additional non-creature spells. So and has each player who has cast a non-creature spell. But you only need one, right? It doesn't really that ability itself doesn't stack, because if only one of those creatures, each of those creatures has, and it's only happens while it's they're paired. If they're not paired, whatever. I mean, yeah, you get. I get it. You get like a nice special ability. You get a special ability for your bonding together. And we have the, of course. What would the show be without another miracle card coming from Majra? The Miraculous Find. For it's normally 6 mana. Instant. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature. Create a treasure token. Now, when you cast this spell, copy it for each opponent with an empty graveyard. Okay. I like the empty graveyard mechanic. It's very unique. And also, it's not easy to accomplish. This is definitely a workaround type of card. Okay, cool card. I think I definitely can get behind this thing. Especially for its miracle cost. Most of the time, it's just destroy something, get a bit of a mana. Okay, we're going to take a look at the rest of those cards later. We're going to move on to Brian Freet. Thank you very much, Brian Freet. Welcome to the show. We got the Rivenshen Chronicles updated. The Rivenshen... Rivenshen Chronicles. Did you just post it? Oh, I found it. Okay, I found it. No problem. The Rivenshen Chronicles updated. It looks like 4 cards, but it's 3. Just one is a basic B soldier token made by the 3rd card. All right. Is this card series going to get me demonetized? Okay, we've got Rivenshen the Persistent. It's a 6 mana 3/5 human soldier with double strike. When Rivishen attacks, venture into the dungeon, and then you may pay Boros. If you do, Rivishen gains indestructible until end of turn, and the creature with the greatest toughness defending player controls must block it this turn if able. This is custom Magic the Gathering card, the card. When you complete a dungeon, untap all creatures you control, and if it is your turn after this phase, there is an additional combat phase. Oh my god. Charge! Forever, forever. No, it's actually not some instance that let you explore. There's also creatures with flash that have explore. Yeah, they have explore. Okay, what do I have to say about this card? It does a lot, but it still costs 6 mana. It's basically an it sort of reminds me of a lot of initiative cards. So you venture into the dungeon, you're gonna get value. You still like when it only when it attacks you venture into the dungeon. It's actually not when you ETB. It's actually more fair than I thought it would be. And frankly, there are cards that more easily give you extra attacks, extra combat steps, but this one you have to work for by at least getting through an entire dungeon, so I approve. Now we have Edict and Vindicator. This is a 5-mana equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has Vigilance, and whenever this creature attacks, prevent all combat damage dealt this turn to another target attacking creature. So, it attack, but most importantly, it artifact. Equip 4, and also equip Legendary Soldier for 1. My first and last set of blades. One day I want to put these things down for good. It's +2/+2 Vigilance, and whenever... It's honestly not overpowered. This is actually insanely expensive. It's 9 mana to give Vigilance and give one creature protection from anything. Even if we equip to a Legendary Soldier, 6 mana is a whole lot. So for that, I think the price tag on this makes this card very, very fair. And then we have the Making of a Hero. 4 mana for a Saga. Chapter 1, create a 3/3 red and white soldier token. We have a Chapter 2, target soldier you control gains double strike or vigilance until end of turn. And then Chapter 3, you may exile target soldier you control, and if you do, it deals damage equal to its power or toughness, whichever is greater, to all creatures your opponents control. They're not legendary? What do you mean? Equip Legendary Soldier? Yeah, this... Oh, you're talking about the soldier. Yeah, this soldier is not legendary. Gotta pay full price, all right? Gotta pay the full 9 mana in order to equip that thing. And we got our 3/3 soldier. Love it. Premium 3/3 soldier. It is a very fair Saga. What's funny is a target soldier gains double strike or vigilance. A lot of soldiers will have one of those anyway. So I guess if they don't, they get it anyway. Oh, we have a waifu card. You're right. Hedgeman got beat to the punch. Where's our waifu card here? Cool. Oh, there's that first card in the show. No one knows what this card does. It was the one with all card types and subtypes and crap like that. That's no waifu. That's wife. Matthew says, what's the power level context of these? Modern, standard, commander? Yeah, basically commander. Commander, legacy. I mean, whatever power level you want. If it steps completely out of line, I will let people know. Like, that thing's insane. No way. Impossible. Impossible. Okay, next up, let's take a look at Nova the Space Wolf. Happy New Year, everybody! Okay, you have a lot of cards here. You have Vaults of Helia. How many cards? You have 2 double-sided cards. All right, we'll take a look at 3, and then we'll be back for the last 2. The Vaults of Helia. This is a 5 mana landmark. It's an enchantment. That's a new card. Do we have a new card type? New non-creature subtype? No. New card type? New creature? No. Do we have new card type? We don't have a card type. Damn! Or is that a subtype? Is landmark a subtype? Let me know. Okay. It's at the start of your upkeep, sacrifice a non-token creature among creatures you control with the highest mana value, then reveal cards on the top of your library until you reveal a creature with mana value that costs 1 more than the sacrificed creature and put it onto the battlefield under your control and give it haste, and then shuffle all other revealed cards into your library. Okay, I think this is fair. At first, after I read that entire sentence, I was thinking, if this is 2 or less, it's broken. If it's more than that, probably it's okay. Yeah, sacrifice a non-token creature among creatures you control, and then you just look for a much larger one. I think at 5 mana, this is super ultra fair. Now, could it end up just comboing off on the spot? It's possible, but it is 5 mana, and it has to be at the start of the upkeep. So, I mean, once you play the Vaults of Helia, your entire board, like the table, has a whole turn to deal with it. If they don't, then I guess they die. And also, they could just board wipe. You don't even have a creature on the battlefield. And every single turn that you put a creature on the battlefield to potentially creature combo off is just another opportunity for the table to either kill the Vaults of Helia or kill your creature. Yeah, so it's basically like Birthing Pod the artifact. Peter, Birthing Pod was an artifact. It's just another. It's Birthing Pod the enchantment. The enchantment here. Obeka with this is nasty. Limiting your choices of what to sacrifice is pretty significant, for sure. Okay, it is a subtype. All right. Then we got, it's a subtype. New non-creature subtype. Boom. We're doing pretty good on the bingo card today. I mean, you only sack 1 creature. Oh, yeah! You know what? It's not like Birthing Pod. You know, you can't combo off with this. The thing with Birthing Pod is that you tapped to activate it, and you always put in creatures in play that would untap the Birthing Pod to keep the chain going, but we're never going to be able to keep this chain going because we only get 1 upkeep. You know what that means? We need more than 1 upkeep. Our plan will be great. That was a banger card, I think. That was an absolute banger. Why? Why is there so many words?
No, God, please, no.
Okay, that's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Where's the we have way too much text here. I mean, I'm not going to technically disqualify this, but this is insane. Okay, I have to get really close to the screen here. Okay, we have Nocturne, a 4-mana 5/3 Nightmare Shade with Fearsome. Creatures with Fearsome can't be blocked by creatures with 2 or less power. Isn't like Skulk? Nightfall. Give target creature an opponent controls vulnerable. All creatures your opponents control get -1/-0 counter until the start of your next upkeep. Whenever a creature you control with either Fearsome or Nightfall attacks, put a shade counter onto Nocturne. When Nocturne has 5 or more shade counters on it, transform it. So we're transforming this thing. Is there anything else? The rest is reminder text. Nocturne, the Eternal Nightmare. It's a 6/4, again with Fearsome. When Nocturne, the Eternal Nightmare transforms, give target creature an opponent controls vulnerable. All creatures your opponents control get a -1/-0 counter until the start of your next upkeep. Then, when declaring an attack, a player can choose to force creature with vulnerable to block an attacking creature of their choice, even if that creature cannot normally block. Other creatures you control have Fearsome. Whenever you cast a creature, all creatures your opponents control get a -1/-0 counter until the start of your next upkeep. I don't like it. I think it's too wordy. I think it is just too much stuff. I think you should have invented 1 new keyword and just made that the default. Oh, is Fearsome real? I didn't know that. I'm looking at it like it's a completely new thing. Yeah. Mamma mia, it's a novel. We got to read the whole thing. Too much, and from a distance, you can't read this at all. It's impossible. I can't remember. It's like a rule. If you have to you have to get in there in order to read the card. you put too many words on it. You got to clean it. It's got to be cleaned up. We got to clean it up. I don't know how we clean it up, but that's not clean. It's not a very clean card. Okay, we'll look at your last two later. But we're also going to take a look at, apparently... Okay, Steve Cooper, I'll get to your super chat probably at the very end of the show. Okay, Winter Fox. Well, quite busy these days. That's okay. Winter Fox, you're still in all our hearts. No cards for me. Donating 5 cards. Okay, hold on. I'll leave that one also to the end of the show. Just want to make sure we get all the paid donations so that we aren't accidentally sniping other donations. So let's take one from... Let's get one from Michael. What is it called? The Strangers 3? Okay, Strangers 3. It is a 4 mana, 4 loyalty, unknown legendary planeswalker. +1. Exile target non-land permanent. Then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. So some very unusual ramp. -3. Exile target non-land permanent. You gain life equal to its mana cost. This is a blinker. And why are they dressed like business people? -7. You get an emblem with whenever a non-land permanent you control leaves the battlefield, you may return it to the battlefield. Oh! So if anything dies, it comes back. Ah, I like that. Exile target non-land permanent. You gain life equal to... Oh, no, that's not even... Oh, sorry, I misread this. This doesn't blink. This is just exiling. You gain life equal to its mana cost. Is that your card? Dark Wishes? Be around when we look up the donations. We'll look at donations at the end. There'll be the donation section. We'll take calls from everybody. Yeah, the first ability blinks. The second ability, it just exiles. You don't want to be targeted by that thing. And then I like this last one, which it seems honestly impossible to get to. What do you have to... Oh, no, sorry, it's not that bad. You have to get to +3 and then go -7. Yeah, that works. I like it. I like this card a lot. Very fair. I dislike Cardsmith, to be brutally honest. Everyone has a different way of making their cards, you know? There's some people, they only make their cards by phone. I don't know if this applies in that situation. Okay, next up. Oh, the last ability needs to be reworded a bit. Whose control do they re-enter under? You know, whenever a non-land permanent you control leaves the battlefield, you may return it to the battlefield. So I would assume, yeah, I think you're right. We should be a little bit more specific. But the way it's worded, I would assume if you don't own the card, it goes back into play under the owner's control. Whereas if you own the card, it comes back into play under your control. That's how I'm assuming it's going to work as worded. But if the idea was to blink or keep cards that you stole but don't own, then that needs a little bit more specification. Okay, next up. Let's look at... What the hell is this? Bingo Cheeser version 1? Bingo Cheeser. Oh, is this like every single like bingo spot on this thing? We've got Lalia, CEO of the Evil Incorporation. It is a bazillion mana. It's over 10 power because there was like we have something like 10 plus. This is much bigger. It has haste, menace, banding, ward 10, indestructible, protection from instant and from sorceries. When Lalia, CEO of Evil Corp Inc., enters with X +1/+1 counters. Each minion creature you control gets X +1/+1 counters, and you draw X cards and lose half of X life, rounded up. Whenever you cast a Planeswalker spell, chaos ensues. Not to mention, it also has X for no reason. Does it have X? Yeah, it has X millions of times. X, 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 X. We have 5 X's on this thing. And honestly, reading this, It's a Dimitri card, really. It looks like a Dimitri card. Brian is like, this is amazing. Why doesn't Wizards print more cards like this? This is exactly the card I need to defeat my play group. I'll tell you what, Steve Cooper. You choose what we remove from the bingo card, and we'll count it as 1. It has to hit some bingo space. I think you hit all of them, except that we did this already. It has 5 words a name. There's a custom ward cost, I think. Do we have a custom word cost? Yeah, ward 10. I counted 8 to 10 bingo spaces. This is like a free space. Just look at every bingo space and figure out if it counts. Oh, it counts. It definitely counts. I love it. And it's a waifu card. It'd be it waifu around. Okay, moving on. Let's take a look at... Okay, let's take a look at Nova's last card. What was this? Okay, I just have to look up Vaults of the Hero. Vaults of the Hero. Oh, sorry, Vaults of Helia. Nova the Space Wolf. Definitely knows their Star Trek. Okay, we got Tam Kench, the River King. I'm gonna give you a nice super chat sound effect for this too. 2/6 Frog Demon, again with a million words. Okay, when Tam Kench enters, or at the start of your upkeep, you may have Tam Kench capture target creature on opponent controls. When Tam Kench captures a creature with this ability, that creature deals damage to Tam Kench equal to its power. I think what you mean, it's you mean to word it like gain control of target creature and opponent controls. And then it'll deal damage equal to its power to Tam Kench, which is totally fine. When Tam Kench has captured 3+ creatures, how often can you do this? Transform it. When Tam Kench transforms, exile all creatures captured by Tam Kench. At the start of your upkeep? Oh, when it enters. Okay, when it enters the battlefield or during your upkeep, you swipe creatures. Okay, I can basically get behind that. And then you have the ability where it transforms into Tam Kench, the Demon of Addiction. You don't gain control of the creature? Captured permanent is exiled under the capture. If the captured leaves the battlefield in any way, return the exiled permanent. Okay. But hold on. It says at the... Let me reword what you said over here, right? When Tam Kench has captured 3+ creatures, transform it. When Tam Kench transforms, exile all creatures captured by Tam Kench. They're already exiled, right? Like, they're already gone. So the idea is, okay, so it enters the battlefield and it exiles? Or do you mean, like, it goes back? Bingo alert, bingo alert, bingo alert! 5+ cards in name. 5+ cards are in the name. So you gotta pick one. Does this guy exile cards? I sort of looked at it like Oblivion Ring, but it doesn't. It's like, why do we have this clause at the end? Exile all creatures captured by Tam Kench. They're already exiled. Anyway, that's the point I'm making out here. Let's look at the second side. 3/4. When it enters or at the start of your upkeep, you may have Tam Kench capture target creature and opponent controls. Why aren't we just calling it exile? Why are we calling it like a completely new keyword? When Tam Kench captures a creature with this ability, that creature deals damage to Tam Kench equal to its power. When Tam Kench declares an attack, exile all creatures captured by Tam Kench. We're doing it again! It's getting exiled again! Okay, so Tam takes a creature and effectively removes it from the board. You put the creature under Tam. When Tam transforms, the captured creatures are exiled from the game. Here's the problem. There's only one exile zone. So when something gets exiled, it all goes to the same exile zone. I know, like, when the game is played, it looks like it goes to different exile zones. There's only one zone. we just put it underneath cards to like remind us where it is. You know what you could do? You could reword it. When it's captured, it phases out the creature, and then when it leaves play, or like when it transforms, the phased out creatures become exiled. You could do that. Also, you could say they just stay in exile. As simple as that. Like, we don't have to say they exile the creatures. They're just gone anyway. You like when you exile the thing, if it transforms, like that's it. They're just gone for forever. Yeah, oh, anyway. Well, I tried my best to explain how maybe it should work. If you could. When to be exiled with a capture counter on them, and when he attacks, he removes the capture counter on them. I don't know the difference. Like, they're both still going to the exile zone. I think we just don't need to mention that they're exiled after it transforms. They're when they get exiled, they're gone, and then that's it. They don't come back. Like, there's no way of making them come back, right? A captured permanent is exiled under the creature. If the capturer leaves the battlefield in any way, return. Oh, I see. Okay, so I would say. I don't know how to word this. I know what you want to do, but I don't know how to word this. The phrasing is off, but this is not doable even by Yu-Gi-Oh standards. Yeah, I get it. So you want to swipe you want to exile the card, and then when this thing transforms, you want to give the opponent to kill this thing, and then if it dies, everyone gets their stuff back. But you also want the ability to transform it, and then those creatures are actually exiled for good. Bingo discussing the rules? You better believe it, Brian. How many rules have we been discussing? Discussing the rules. That's a big one. We need one up here. We need one more down there. Okay, according to the silver card owl, there's a super exiled zone. Oh. Yeah, the silver card. Maybe detain them as long as they're on the field. No, I know. Okay. I think it should just be like so I guess when this thing transforms, it's a point of no return. I think you just mentioned like they're exiled permanently. When it transforms, all creatures exiled by Tam are exiled permanently, or something to that effect. But I honestly don't know how to word it. I know what you want to do. It's just that this is not it. It's worded very awkwardly. Yeah, maybe exile them face down sort of works. Yeah, for reference, the super exile zone, or the super freaking removed from the game zone. Okay, let's take a look at Majra's, the second half of the Janitor series. The Janitor. The Janitor is looking for love. Everyone needs love, especially the Janitor. We didn't look at this one. Miraculous Recovery. This is a 6-mana sorcery. Reanimate target creature or artifact from your graveyard. Reanimate's not a mechanic. It's just return target creature or artifact card from your graveyard. If the target is a cleric, draw a card. Whenever you cast the spell, copy it for each opponent with an empty graveyard. Okay, this could be a huge reanimator spell. And you also have Miracle of 3. Reanimate target creature artifact card from your graveyard. I think you could Miracle for less. Like 2. 2 is probably fine. 3 honestly seems expensive. 6 mana is pretty expensive for a reanimation spell. In fact, it's downright terrible. Oh, Reanimate is officially counted as a mechanic? Oh, I don't know when that happened. 6 mana seems like so much to like bring a creature back from the graveyard to play. Especially since we have so many cards that reanimate for like 2, 3, 4 mana. So I would have no problem with this card miracling for 2 and actually costing for 4, I think. Okay, Steve Cooper has got like a decision. Looking at my Cheeser card, it hits custom. Yeah, it hits all those cards. But which one do you want? Lou Yakom says, bye. Remember to check out Dark Desires. Okay, I'll try to remember. There's no guarantees, though, but I'll... Okay, you know what? Okay, I got to remember Dark Desires. Dark Desires. I'll take a look at it. All right, next up. Runaway in the Night. Oh, I like this image. We got this sort of twisted city looking up from above. And this looks like a murder scene. The chalk lines. All right, this is a 4-mana snare. Snare for 2 mana. Remember, the snare is like... It's like morph for artifacts. Snare for 2. When Runaway in the Night enters or is turned face up, exile target creature or planeswalker. Each player gains life equal to the target's mana value and investigates. Then sacrifice Runaway in the Night. That's interesting. Each player benefits off of this card. Exile target creature or planeswalker. Yeah, okay, that's neat. All right, everyone gets everyone benefits for some reason. I don't know why I don't know why everyone running away in the night is going to gain some life. Wait, what does Runaway in the Night mean? They slept and the guy woke up and left? Should be art for defenestration. I don't know what that is. Dimitri says, yep, it's from the original rules book that never got updated. Well, reanimate? Well, I'm not going to follow the original rule book if it's like from like 1993. It's completely out of date. No, he runs away with his lover, actually. Oh, that's the lore over here. Is there 3 people? Are there 3 lovers running? Source of pleasures, but for both people? Yes. Both people. And it hits the planeswalkers. All right, this is a unique card. Very unusual effect. Also interesting, not... Oh, yeah, so it's sorcery speed, I suppose. The power of the sorcery speed. Okay, how many donos do we have? There's going to be... there's going to be 5. Okay, so I just have to remember one. Let's take a look at Dark Desires. It's not even here! Okay, I tried to look up Dark Desires. It's not even on my Discord. Is it in the Coffee Crew chat? Did someone put it here? No, it's not here either. Okay, well, I tried. Can't say I didn't. You can't say I didn't try. Okay, next up, we'll take a look at Steve Cooper. Apparently has a set name card, series 2.1, and a dono to Pedgeman. Probably change the Mirage one to fit with the set mechanics of that set. All right, Pedgeman, gotta let me know what you want. Actually, I thought this was going to be like 5 donos. Set name card series 2.1. There's only 3 cards. How many / I'll probably change the Mirage one to fit with the set mechanics of the time. Okay. Is there another card here? No, I don't see it. Okay, Born of the Gods. 5-mana enchantment. Each enchantment creature you control has indestructible and hexproof as long as your devotion to the colors they are is 7 or greater. A little grammatical blip. So 3 cards plus dono. But yeah, but it was $20. That's a lot. It's a lot of Skrilla. You got 1 card per $5. Okay, so each enchantment creature you control, they have indestructible and hexproof as long as your devotion to colors they are is 7 or greater. Definitely based card. Yeah. Honestly, probably not that great. Just because it's so hard to actually get devotion up large enough. So this is a super win more card. But if you get there, it's indestructible. I think Winter Fox would highly approve of this card. Winter Fox, not a huge fan of devotion. but big fan of indestructible and hexproof. Nikachu, bust out the calculator, divide 20 by 4. Oh, it's yeah, you got 5 cards. 20 by 4. $5 per card. Oh yeah, you're right. I'm an idiot. Yeah, 20 divided. I'm a moron. Where's Nikachu's calculator? There it is. 20 divided by 4 equals the $5. I shortchanged myself. There we go. How do I make it through this world? I don't know. It's one of life's mysteries, I suppose. Eldritch Moon. It's Emrakul, but after everyone is dead. 5 mana for an enchantment. Non-basic lands are wastes. Oh yeah, baby. Escalate costs, madness costs, and emerge costs cost 1 less to cast. So those are all the not all, but a good chunk of Eldrazi. Was there madness for Eldrazi's? I don't remember that. I remember emerge, and I think I remember escalate. Eldrazi and horrors you control get +1/+0. And then humans, spirits, vampires, werewolves, and zombies your opponents control get +0/+1. That also definitely works. Where's the oh, I got the Nicalculator. Bingo alert, that's so specific. That is specific. Another one created by Steve Cooper. Steve Cooper intentionally is trying to cover this bingo card just by himself. Where is the... That is very specific. Definitely. The human... Why spirits? Oh, I guess there's a good chunk of spirits on Innistrad, isn't there? It was an Eldritch Moon specifically. Okay, Eldritch Moon. Merge, fuse, and merge, or fuse or emerge. No, there's definitely emerge. 100 million%. And the last one, we got Mirage. And what was the idea? It was going to change names or something, or the picture? I'll probably change the Mirage one to fit with the set mechanics of that set. Okay. Cool. White-red aura. Enchant Island. Enchanted land becomes a 1/1 illusion wall with tap, add a colorless, and if you would tap this land for blue mana, sacrifice it instead, it's still a land. Shouldn't it be like enchanted land becomes a desert? Isn't that more flavorful? Enchant Island, but it really is an island, technically. Now you're saying it's a mirage. Darn, you have to dono again. Bingo, dono to Pedgeman. Oh yeah, that was this is also a Pedgeman dono. Boom. Keep in mind the 11/11 card that hit half the bingo box. No, we're not counting that. That was cheating. That was cheating. It was done on purpose. It was done on purpose. Okay, the flavor seems like a flavor fail, at least in my opinion, but the card is fine. So it's basically land destruction for blue. Enchanted land becomes a 1/1 illusion. Wall with tap, add a colorless, and if you would tap this land for blue mana. So, so it also still maintains the island type. So it can still tap for mana, but if you want to add blue, you gotta say sayonara to it. Okay, Pedgeman, you got part of that super chat, didn't you? Remelia, New Year Devil. Oh yeah, I saw this card. Remelia, the New Year Devil. It is a 5 mana 4/4 vampire noble with flying. Commute of upkeep, sack a non-land permanent. You're gonna lose everything. Whenever a player sacrifices a permanent, for each counter on that permanent, create 2 blood tokens, treasure or food tokens. So basically, if you sack something with counters on it, you actually have some other non-land permanents to sacrifice in the future. For each age counter among permanents on the battlefield, Remelia gets +1/+1 and gains Ward 1. And also for black, remove 2 age counters from Remelia, put an age counter on target permanent. It gains commutative upkeep, sacrifice a non-land permanent for as long as it has an age counter on it, activate the only other sorcery. Honestly, I don't like this last ability.
No, God, please, no.
At first, I thought you had a super unique angle at making cumulative upkeep like sort of playable, but then you sort of ruin it at the end over here by taking the age counters and like dumping it on other stuff, right? Put an age counter on target permanent. So you're basically giving like the upkeep, the cumulative upkeep to somebody else, correct? Where do the age counters come from? I don't know. It's from the outer space, probably. They came from the gods. I had to make it OP. And at the end, well, you did. A little too OP in my opinion. It's probably not OP, but I think it'd be cool. I think everything up to this activated ability is really cool. I really like the idea that you can get blood tokens for your upkeep triggers, and then you could actually sacrifice those things. Cumulative upkeep is a crappy mechanic, but I think you have a really nice angle at making it playable. Where like when you sack the permanent, you get like other benefits, and then if you can manage your permanents properly, then it can stick around on the board. But as it is, I don't know. It might be fair. Also, it might hit danger. I'm not sure. It could be one or the other. Okay, next up, let's take a look at Banovsky's Hellbrand. Hellbrand. It is... This person has lost their damn soul. For 2 mana, instant, sacrifice a land, destroy target permanent. Okay, so first off, this is I think this is fair. I think it's fair. Pedman says, so if you have other cards with cumulative upkeep and don't pay the upkeep, you have to sack them, which makes the tokens for Remalia. There we go. That also works. Okay, so I'm just trying to think, like, what if I could try to break this card, what would it look like? Turn 1. I think it's fair. It's probably very rude on the play, because I could be like land, mana dork, pass. My opponent plays land, I don't know, play a creature, pass. And then I go land, Hellbrand, destroy your one land. I still have my mana dork in play, but I can't be certain because you still give up 2 resources for 1. You give up the Hellbrand in your hand. You give up the land in play. So probably it's fair. It's probably one of these cards that it's like it's fair, but people will not like how this card plays out. Yeah, land for land. It's Sinkhole, but we both go down together. I'll see you in hell. That's the plan. Yeah, land for a land plus black and a red. It's way weaker than fair. I'm not sure if you're talking about the Hellbrand or Pedgeman's card. Sack a land isn't a cost, though, so if you have no land, you don't lose anything. Sacrifice a land, destroy target permanent. Well, I'm assuming you do have a land, though. Okay, that's actually a really good point. This card should say, as an additional cost to cast Hellbrand, sacrifice a land. Or maybe not. Maybe you could just have it like this. It would really suck if I have to sack a land and it gets countered. Then I just lose. It's a clear 2-for-1. Whereas in this case, it's instant speed. I have to sacrifice a land, and I get to destroy target permanent. Oh, I didn't. You know, one thing I didn't think about. This still destroys any permanent, so I can exchange a land for a planeswalker, which probably is still okay. It's not. Yeah, it's not additional though. It's not additional cost. So man, I think you know what? I like it printed. I like it. I like it as printed. I give it a pass. Okay, it's never a show unless we see some Spaceballs Dark Helmet. What's 2 cards? The Dark Helmet and a little Rick Moranis part. Okay, Dark Helmet. This is a 5-mana 4/3 Warlock Warrior. When Dark Helmet enters, you may tap up to 1 target creature and artifact an opponent controls. Downside of the Schwartz. Was it called the Downside? This is like the parody of the Dark Side. Black, black. You may cast an enchantment, instant, or sorcery from your hand by paying life equal to its mana value instead. Okay. When Dark Helmet dies, exile him and return him to the battlefield transformed. And transforms into the Dork Helmet. A 3/3 Warlock Stooge. Dork Helmet enters with a stun counter on him. Dork Helmet can block while stunned, and if he does, gains -1/-1 until end of turn. You can also pay 5 mana to retransform him. So what is the point of this card? The transformed side sucks. Oh, when he dies. Because it doesn't really die, you know? To some degree, Dark Helmet has plot armor. You can never kill a Dark Helmet. I mean, I guess if you try to kill him, you can kill him on the Dork side. The Dork side. Plot armor saves him. Okay, Winter Fox wants to be part of the show. Oh, I lied. I found one card made a week ago or so. The Firefly behind Silk Curtains. I swear this is do we have a user called Fire? Okay, Firefly behind Silk Curtains. Oh my god, Winter Fox! It's a card with color mana symbols in it. We got red, 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 blue, blue, blue. A Firefly behind Silken Curtains. 08, genetically modified human. As a lot of people we are today. Hexproof and haste. Where is you can't kill this thing? You can't get rid of this card, even though it's not. It's actually a little killable. I know you make your cards in such a way that it's basically impossible. It's 08. Very hard to blow up. Okay, red tap. Place 1 break counter on target creature. Creatures have -0/-1 for each break counter on it. Its toughness cannot be reduced to less than 1 by this effect. When a creature with a break counter on it dies as a result of combat? Oh, combat. Deal 2 to all creatures your opponents control and gain red for each creature that dies by this effect. Okay, hold on. I gotta reread this. Place 1 break counter on target creature. They have -1/- for each break counter on it. Its toughness cannot be reduced to less than 1 by this effect, so it can basically get as low as 1. When a creature with a break counter on it dies, deals 2 damage to all creatures your opponents control and you gain red. What a weird ability. So I would say this ability sucks. Honestly. I don't get it. It's very creative, but it's like creative for the sake of creative. Yeah, combat. Combat! We go to war. We attack. Place 1 break counter. So you're basically shrinking everything. But if they shrink low enough and then die, they're got pyroclasm the rest of the board. Oh, I think I get the idea of this mechanic. You can slowly start shrinking the creatures down, and then they can all get knocked down like dominoes, because if you shrink the creatures to 2 toughness or less and then one of them dies, then they all die at once. I don't know a better way to put it. It should just be like, you know what it should say? It's just tap. You're making mechanic names for no reason. It's just tap, place a -0/-1 counter on target creature. That's it. And then you can say underneath, like in its own paragraph, if a creature with a -1/-0 counter, -0/-1 counter dies, it deals 2 damage to each creature that its controller controls. That's it. I think that would make it just clean. Technically, I think this card is supposed to combo with others to have the effects with break counters. You know, I think keywording the break counter just makes it a little complicated, in my opinion. The damn draws. Monkey Misstep. Ooh, ah. Okay, it's a 0 mana instant. Probably broken. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a banana. Okay, that's actually pretty fair. Counter target spell with mana value 1 or less. I'm not gonna lie, you probably should be able to counter more stuff than that. Countering just a 1 mana spell or less is How hard, like, how easy is it to make a banana? I'm assuming it isn't. Like, what's the, how, the damn draws, how fast can you make a banana in this game? Because really, to counter the 1 mana cards, you need it, like, immediately. You need bananas by turn 1. You like the picture for this one? Oops. I think it sort of reminds me of, what's it called? Actually, it reminds me more of Ancestral Recall. This is the real Ancestral Recall. You go deep enough into our gene pool, there's like apes and monkeys. You gotta go very deep, though. I think Kantala is like an hour behind the stream, but it's not a mutant. That would imply it mutated without assistance. I think Kibo is the only thing that makes bananas. Well, I mean, Damn Draws has a bunch of banana creatures in the creative card pool. But so my point is, by the time you have a banana to sacrifice, the most important, like, I'm not going to say it's impossible. Like, later on in the game, you might want to counter Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile. There are targets for sure. New creature type, genetically modified human. Oh, it's true. Okay, for the last card. I like that art done last one, by the way. Genetically. What is it? New creature type. And with that creature type, my coffee crew, we do in fact have a bingo, which means we're going to donate 1 more card later. Cool, I like it. So, I mean, you know what? Maybe the most important 1 mana cards aren't always played on turn 1. They're actually played later, so I can get behind this card. Okay, now we have a very generous super chat from Winter Fox. If you have a card you want on the show, now is the time to donate it. Or not donate. Now is the time to show me. We've got, I think this is only 5 cards. What is 28? 28 Canadian in USD. Yeah, 20 bucks. But a beautiful $20. Thank you very much, Winter Fox, for your generosity. Especially as you are part of the old guard of the custom Magic the Gathering card crew. Okay, Dimitri wants at least 1 card. Let's get one from Dimitri. Mana Veil. I love the sound of it. How much mana does it make? It's got no art, Dimitri. Okay, 6 mana for an enchantment. When an opponent attacks you, they must remove the top card of their library equal to the total power of their attacking creature, and you add the same number of value tokens to this enchantment. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, they must either pay mana or a life equal to the number of value tokens on this card. What is going on here? So if I attack, I basically perpetually make it impossible for me to cast spells. You will be like such a huge target. Okay, I'll tell you this. Probably this could be a card, but it probably needs to be way more expensive, because this is going to be so impossible to deal with once it's on the battlefield. It looks very... I will say, this sort of looks like a card they could design. It's like, okay, you attack, they have to like mill some card or exile cards off the top of their deck, and then you get that many of this type of counter. But then whenever they cast the spell, they have to, they're like massively taxed in either mana or life in order to resolve their stuff. Again, this is meant to be from alpha and beta. I'm gonna level with you, Dimitri. I don't think they attacked with creatures back then. You see the deck list from back then? It's wild. Absolutely wild. Okay, so I think you could, if you add more mana to this, I don't know how much. Maybe 3 more mana. Just make it 9 mana. I think we actually have a card over here. Okay, do we have any other donations? This is your chance, everybody. This is your chance. I'm taking live donations. I guess I'll get another one from Pedgeman while we're waiting. Ramilia Christmas Devil. She loves a good party. This is 6 mana for a 6/6 Vampire Noble with flying. When Remelia enters or attacks, each opponent creates their choice of a blood, treasure, or food token. Then for each opponent, create a copy of each artifact token they control. So basically, we give everybody something. We give you a choice. And you know what? I'm the host of the party, so I'm gonna have at least one of those myself. Then 2 mana, sacrifice 3 tokens. Remelia phases out. I think this is a great, incredibly well-designed card. I think this is really cool. This is it's like part group hug, part just strong. We get we're at least going to give a token to everybody, and then after that we can use it to protect our Remelia for the rest of the game. Brian, we're giving away donations here. We're giving away donations. People are still paying. There are free donate. We have how many? We have 3 more left. Okay, I'm going to dig. We're gonna dig into the. I'm gonna jump to the present, and then I will give. We're gonna have to close my eyes. Where we end, I don't know. Who is this from? Dogari, the Garden of Gods. This is a legendary land. It's a garden. When the Garden of Gods enters the battlefield, return 2 untapped basic lands to your hand. That sounds terrible. Then discard a land card. Tap, add 2 mana of the color combination of the lands returned to your hand when Garden of Gods enters the battlefield. My land drops. I'm tempoing this thing out. Poor Nikachu wants to go to bed. Oh, this show hasn't even hit 2 hours yet. I mean, the show is early as far as I'm concerned. The show is early. Okay, so okay, is it? Yeah, it's probably playable. It sounds like it can sort of help with landfall because you enters the battlefield, you bounce lands back to your hand, and it gives you the chance to replace some of those lands. I will say, I'll tell you what this card should do. It should enter the battlefield tapped, and the lands you bring back to your hand don't need to be tapped or untapped. Oh, I see. 2 untapped basic land. I guess you can make it work like this. So this is like your 3rd land drop. What if I only start with this land in my hand? Oh, wait a minute. Is this like Lotus Field? This is just Lotus Field. So this is just bad Lotus Field. Oh, but you get the lands back to your hand, but then you have to discard a land. Anyway, I think it has problems. I think well, whatever. I mean, it's doable, but I think it's very vulnerable. Super vulnerable. Like 1 Ghost Quarter, a Wasteland, back to basics. Oh, what else hits this thing? Basically anything that basically destroys your entire game plan. Yeah, it's like a much weaker bounce land. It's a vulnerable bounce land. What else do we have here? Okay, Z-Man Vader wants to get on the show. No card yet. Yeah, that's a pretty common occurrence. The Tree of Second Chances. Usually we don't give donations. Or usually people are not prepared for donations. But Z-Man Vader is. Tree of the Second Chance is a 3 mana 0/20 plant. Which is a weird creature type, because usually that's a token. Or no, I guess plant is a creature type. It's got Defender. Tap, exchange target opponent's life total with Tree of Second Chance's toughness. Oh, so it's the opposite of the Tree of Perdition. You want a second chance? Be my guest. Whoops. The Tree of Second Chances. It's not a Tree of Perdition. It's giving second chances, Pedgeman. If you didn't have a chance, you do now. Anyway, that's I think this is totally cool. It's it's simple, and a bunch of people would play with this card. And you know what? I'm very certain that some people would have have a menacing idea with this card. Shrink the thing with -1/-1 counters, and then exchange it with someone's life total to basically put them to like 3 life. So we have Tree of Perdition, but in green. But this thing's Or Tree of Perdition was pretty big, right? Maybe it was bigger than I thought. It's like a 13. But this is bigger. It's 20 it's 20 toughness. Okay, who else wants a freebie? I think that was the fourth one, but there's still a few more donos up the sleeve. What is another dono? Islarf wants to be part of the show. I love the sound of it. Machine duplication. I see your word machine duplication, but I don't see the actual card, Islarf. Where is it? I can't find it. You typed it out, but you didn't actually post a card here. So I have to go with another point. Yeah, you didn't post it. Islarf, this is your moment. This is your one shot. Eminem had made many songs about that. One shot. You can't choke here. You fixed it? Is it still there? One, did you post it at the bottom? Oh, here it is. Okay. Post at the bottom. The machine duplication, a 4-mana sorcery. Choose target artifact creature with power 2 or less you control, then search your library for up to 2 artifact creatures with the same name, or 2 artifact creatures with an equal combined mana value to the chosen creature, and put them onto the battlefield. Interesting. So off the top of my head, I don't know how to break this. So hopefully it can't be broken, but it's possible. Choose 2 target artifact creatures with power 2 or less. Search your library for up to 2 artifact creatures with the same name. So you can get double the creatures, which is not very good in Commander, or 2 artifact creatures with an equal combined mana value, which is interesting because there's a lot of like, I don't know how to put it. There's a lot of 4-mana, 5-mana, 6-mana creatures that have 2 power or less, which are really prime targets for the machine duplication. This is a legit Yu-Gi-Oh card. That's how it is. Super Danger, essentially a double tutor. The Doubler. Well, here's the thing. In Magic, there's a big cost to playing this card. If you target a creature and then in response I kill it, the 2-for-1 is back-breaking. Absolutely back-breaking. So I'm going to say that this card is actually quite fair. Okay, now we are going back to Super Chats, because apparently we're not done with them. Kalia the Vast wants to be part of the show. And we have the Chainsaw Man Collection. Warning, spoilers. Chainsaw Man Collection. Frankly, I don't care about spoilers for the Chainsaw Man, because I'm not going to see it! This is the updated version of the show. Okay, good. I'm still the only thing spoiler wise I'm having trouble with is with Squid Game 2. I haven't seen the whole thing yet, but they're like posting videos and pictures and fan theories all over the damn place on the internet. It's a goddamn minefield. What the hell is this? This is so much mana. And why are we using the red font? This is some sort of special promo that you're not supposed to read. Chainsaw Man, Hero of Hell for very distorted looking 7 mana. It's a 7/7 armored devil. Haste and lifelink. Tap exile target creature. That's insane. But it is 7 mana after all. When Chainsaw Man, Hero of Hell dies, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a number of rev counters on it, equal to the number of rev counters it had on it, plus 1. Discard. Also, when it dies, it might have 0, but then it's going to get its first. Discard a card or sacrifice another creature you control. If you can't, put Chainsaw Man, Hero of Hell on the bottom of its owner's library, and you lose 2 life. Gains +X+0, where X is the number of rev counters on Chainsaw Man, Hero of Hell. Okay, that actually, I think overall that completely works. So it's a 7 mana removal spell, is what I'm really getting at. 7 mana, enters the battlefield. You can start exiling creatures at will. Outside of that, you can start smashing people and gaining tons of life at the same time. It says choose, not target Nikachu. Was that for the last card or this card? Dies. I don't see any choose on here. I would recommend not looking up what a chainsaw was originally invented for. Oh, really? This is pretty good for chopping down trees. After chopping up people, probably. Okay, next one. How? How do I read this? This is impossible. Okay, I think I can. Look, Coffee Crew, I think I can make it out. This is 8 mana for a Yoru, the War Devil. It's a 10/4 legendary horseman of the Apocalypse Owl Devil. Haste, lifelink, trample, menace, first strike, and reach. Bang. Pay 3 life, destroy target creature, planeswalker, or artifact. Come to Mother. Discard or sacrifice up to 2 non-token creatures with mana value 5 or higher. Yoru gains up to the same number of the following until end of turn. Flying or double strike. Spinal Cord second. Attach target creature and opponent control what? Attach target creature in your opponent's graveyard that died this turn to Yoru the War Devil. Yoru gets +1/+1. If you want to leave your body will be mine. Oh no, if you want to love, your body will be mine. Black, 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 black. Sacrifice a non-token creature. Return Yoru the War Devil. Yeah, War Devil from your graveyard to the battlefield. Yoru gets -1/-1 until end of turn. I think this is the first time I tried to read it. It's still hard to read. It's like impossible. There was already that much text. Did you need to add the flavor? The flavor words for the abilities? Okay, moving on to the next one. Is it getting worse? Is it literally just getting worse? I think you only paid for 3. What was the payment for that? I'm wheezing. What was the payment for this thing? I swear there's only super chats for 3. Oh no, it's 16 euros though. That could be a lot. Or 16 pounds. 16 pounds. Oh, I'll be damned. It's $20. Okay, we go through all of them. I need help. I need help with this. We need to use forensics to see this a little bit more clear, my Coffee Crew. Otherwise, it's impossible. There we go. Okay, I think this is going to work out for me. Okay, what is this even called? This is Makima the Control Devil for 7 mana. 7 horrible mana. Legendary creature. Horseman of the Apocalypse. Devil. Vigilance, lifelink, reach, ward 3. Say you'll make a contract. Why does everything have its own damn keyword? Tap 3. Gain control of target non-legendary creature. Postmortem Devil contract. 4 mana. Makima gains all abilities of target creature in any graveyard until end of turn. Say their name. Sacrifice a creature. Destroy target non-legendary creature. Bang for 2 mana. It's reusing the same mechanics from the other damn cards. 2 mana. Makima deals 3 damage to target creature. Are they even in the same ability? Yeah, pounds are $20. I wouldn't know. There's pounds and then there's euros. Okay, 1,000 Year Spear. Pay 10 life. Tap. Makima deals 10 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Discard or sacrifice a non-token creature. Regenerate Makima the Control Devil. We still have... Why do we have this? Oh, we have to credit the illustrator, don't we? Bang! Exclamation point is greater than bang! They're not the same mechanic! They're 2 different mechanics, I swear. They're 2 different mechanics. Okay, that worked out quite well last time. So let's zoom in on this one. It's the only way I can read this one. I've never had to do this. In the long history of this show, I've never had to zoom in. Basically, I'm not using Photoshop, but we got to go in deeper. What is this creature even called? Fami, the Famine Devil for 6 mana. Okay, it's a legendary Horseman of the Apocalypse Devil. It's a 3/3 creature. Fall for quadruple black. Tap. Create a legendary 8/8 primal fear. Falling devil creature token with flying fear, indestructible, ward 3, and the following ability. Sacrifice it at the end of your next turn. Then for 5 black tap all creatures your opponents control, and they get a -1/-2 until end of turn, and then Guillotine for 3 mana. Counter target activated ability from a creature source. You may pay an additional black to destroy that creature if it's in play. And then black connive. At this rate, I'll read this. Wait, you know what? F it. Why don't we just read the flavor text at this point? At this rate, neither I nor Makima nor Chainsaw Man will be able to stop the Death Devil, but War Devil could. Be mage to win, possibly. Maybe, somehow. Or not. I at least usually pay for those textbooks. What? Where the hell did that come from? Okay, but there was actually a bingo alert out of this. 4+ same color for Makima, which actually ends up being a bingo. 2 more freebies at the end of the show. All right, cool. This one is fair. I don't know if any of them are fair. To be honest, they're all very expensive. All right, Brian. Bring me back to reality, please. Please. Gabriella. Unknown Knight. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes the Unknown Knight for 7 mana. It's a 5/5 Angel Knight. Flying, lifelink, and vigilance. Very simple, usual keywords for angels. Other angels you control get +2/+2. The angel lord the whole world has been looking for. Oh, we're not done yet. We're on our way, but we're not done yet. Instant sorceries you cast have lifelink. I want another. Let's see what we get. What do we have here? Listen to something else. Yeah, listen to this. Flying. Okay, instants and sorceries you cast have lifelink. That is great. Could use more lifelink. Bingo alert. 2-hour plus stream. We're not there yet. I say 1 hour 57 minutes. We will get there though. Certainly we will. Oh, I guess for you guys, do you guys see a 2-hour stream? Maybe when you enter the maybe when you join the stream 5 minutes before I start it, it looks different to you guys. If she has burn synergy, she should also be red. She does have burn synergy. You could play her in a Boros deck. You could have Boros Angels, and that absolutely will work out, in my opinion. I think it's good. I think it could be 6 mana, to be honest. I don't think it's that broken. Unless you wanted to say all your other angels also get lifelink and vigilance. So like flying, lifelink, vigilance. Other angels you control get +2/+2, lifelink, and vigilance. Maybe that's worth 7 mana. Okay, we have 2 freebies. Do you know why? Well, where's another one? We're gonna do the 2-hour stream. When did we get this one? Super chat just to complete the bingo? I can't remember if Steve Cooper donated for that. Steve Cooper donates for that spot almost every single week. People will learn on their card making journey that less words is more. The key is, how do you make a card very creative and unique with as few words as possible? That's the key. That's the real key around here. Like for example, take maybe a land that taps for a colorless, and when it enters the battlefield, tapped, and it's to say whenever a land enters the battlefield tapped, you may untap another target land. Wouldn't that be cool? I just basically invented mana like some sort of pseudo mana parity that helps decks with lands that come into play tapped to have them come into play untapped. You got 2 cards today, Pedgeman. You want all the cards, don't you, Pedgeman? Wizards of the Coast today doesn't make cards short. No, you're not wrong. You know what? I realized in the last 2 years, Wizards of the Coast has started to make cards closer to the custom card community than they have to their old tactics. Okay, hold on. I thought I saw someone suggest something a lot earlier. Okay, who had... And they were just a little too late to the party, but not too late. Just want to try to see if I can find it. Mac, there we go. Male Zach, doing freebie card. I have one. Everlasting Hope, Shore of Lights. Okay, you do get a freebie. Everlasting Hope, Shore of Lights. God damn, what is with you people? This is insane. Okay, this is a land that has a casting cost. So if I understand correctly, the casting cost is basically, you don't actually have to cast a land. Lands can be played for nothing. It just happens to have a mana value of 1 instead of 0. Whenever this land would leave the battlefield, put it on the top of its owner's library. It's called the Everlasting Hope, Shore of Lights. Tap, this ability can't be countered. Add white, spend this mana only to cast sorcery spells. All other players may draw a card and may gain or lose 2 life. Activate only once each turn. I don't get, like, why are we putting... What is the point of any of this in that ability? Tap, add mana equal to the unspent mana you lost during your last turn? If it's not countered, all other players may draw a card. I swear it reads like an AI generated card that went off the rails. Activate only as a sorcery and only once each turn. Untap, add white during your next turn. All other players gain 4 life. Activate only during an opponent's turn. Well, it's free. Why would I not want to draw a card and gain life for free? Yeah, I know. Lands that should just be 5-mana enchantments. Okay, no, this should be 3 separate 5-mana enchantments. That's how I'm looking at this card. 3 separate ones. Alright, who had... Bingo Cheeser version 1 probably hits super... Yeah, there we go. The Bingo Cheese... There we go, you got one. Super chat just to complete the bingo. Because you deserved at least one. And then we also had the 2-hour stream. Which also turns into another bingo. Okay, so we have 2 more super chats to go. I want to see it. Does anyone do... I try to limit my word counts. I am doing that on purpose. This is just bonkers. Yeah, thank you so much, Brian. I really appreciate what you do. I really appreciate your design. Fun thing to do, combo this with whenever an opponent would gain life, instead they lose life. Oh god, don't give people ideas, Toilet Duck. They'll make another land that just looks like this. Sage Kerr, I don't know if you got a card. Tir Na Nog. I have no idea if I can even find that. Tir Na Nog. Did you just submit it? Okay. I can't look up these terms, like these characters. They're not native English characters or like Romanized characters. Legendary enchantment land, Island Forest. So we can dig for it out of our deck. Tap, add double green. Then for 5 mana, tap, counter target spell that targets Tir Nog. Honestly, this is the fairest part of the card so far. Oh, it enters the battlefield tapped. Still too busted. 5 mana, sacrifice Tir Na Nog. You can't lose the game, and your life total can't change this turn. When Tir Na Nog leaves the battlefield, you lose the game at the beginning of your next upkeep. So when it leaves the battlefield, you lose. So when you sack it, it's interesting. It can't tap for double green. That is just
No, God,
it's
please, no.
broken. Okay, it's broken. It's a fetch. It's literally a fetchable soul land with upside. Complete upside. Male is like, kind of strong land. Yeah, if you lose it, you die. You gotta use if you use it, you lose it. If you use it and lose it, you're gonna lose it. Did I miss something, Majra? The entire Song of the Night? Or you just wanted a freebie? Okay, hold on. If I don't find... I'm just trying to see if there's one person who has never been part of the show here. It's good to give freebies to the people. It's good to give freebies to newcomers. They feel appreciated. Bingo alert. Nikachu can't read cards because the text is too small to read. Well, I did read it. It was very, very hard. It was outrageously hard. I have one broken land if you want more freebies to use. Okay, I'm going to give a freebie to someone new here. Who did not get a card here today? We'll give one to Snowblinded NZ with the Magic Purist. It's a 2-mana 2/2. Apparently, it's a human Redditor, and it's someone playing Magic at a table. They got the whole cosplay going on over here. Haste. When Magic Purist enters, exile all universes beyond permanence. Put a karma counter on Magic Purist for each permanent exile this way. All universes. So basically, we're getting rid of universes beyond. When Magic Purist attacks, double the number of karma counters on it. Then Magic Purist deals damage equal to the number of karma counters on it to any target. Double. To be honest, if there's no universes beyond permanents in play, it does nothing. You and permanents you control have protection from universes beyond cards. This is such a Homelands looking card. It's like, it reminds me of, you know, the City in a Bottle. That's what it reminds me of, effectively. All right, that's it. Whoops, no, that's not it. That's it. I submitted Dead Walk a while back. I never got a card. Okay, do you know what, Stranger Candy? It's your lucky day. What's Dead Walk? Dead Walk. You know what? And it's simple. Thank God. 7 mana for an artifact. Pay 0. Sacrifice a planeswalker. You may use any loyalty ability and additional time. Yep, that's a card. I will tell you this, Stranger Candy. That is a strangely unique effect. I don't know if it's worth it, but I'll give it... Yeah, that's an ability. Sack your whole planeswalker. Get 1 extra. That sounds like, you know, killing the golden goose to go get the eggs, but you only get 1 more. Anyway, that's it for the show for today. As usual, we do this weekdays at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, particularly the custom show. We do this every Wednesday. Thanks to everyone who supports the channel. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you Super Chat to be part of the show, or even Super Chat so other people are part of the show. And of course, thank you very much, Coffee Crew, for being here today. People like Trip Fontaine, Steve Cooper, Toilet Duck. We got Jay, Stranger Candy, Brian, Mel. Who else do we have here? Daniel, Majra, Forginka, Sageker. We got Holo, The Jaded. Who else do we have? Who am I missing? Pedgeman, Toilet Duck, The Damn Draws, and more, because you guys are what makes the show so good every single day. So as usual, my Coffee Crew, keep brewing them coffees, and we will keep brewing up the magic, especially in the year 2025. And I will see you at the next cup.